Yeah, I am Joël Brierre. I'm a yogi, a teacher, and together with my wife, we facilitate what we call 5 ME Om circles, and it's working with or using the container of yoga and yogic philosophy to safely and effectively work with this medicine.
Right. Beautiful. And so one thing that I know you guys work with both Bufo and the synthetic 5-MeO DMT. Can you explain kind of the differences or similarities that you notice with people's experiences, reactions, reactivations, all the things that come with the Bufo experience? Are they there with 5-MeO DMT?
Oh yeah, definitely. Myself, I'm of the opinion that they're the same thing. The other alkaloids that are present in the Bufo toxin they're trace amounts, and I don't feel they're significant enough to be felt or noticed. There is a noticeable difference, however, with the experience, its energetic resonance, if you will. But either way is a perfectly wonderful way to get there. I love to work with both. I work with both with myself, and we love to offer both to people because it's really more, some people just have it in their paradigm that the Bufo is the natural one and synthetic is not natural, or, and that the natural way is the way to go. I find both is a more effective way. Synthetic is, of course, very easy for dosage accuracy.
Because it takes much less synthetic.
Exactly, and you know exactly how much you're giving someone. Within the Bufo toxin, there is approximately 10 to up to 26, 27% containing 5-MeO DMT, so you're not sure exactly how much you've given them. But as I said before, both are perfectly effective ways to get there. Yeah.
And so I know that you're the yogi man. You're at the conference this year. Yoga as a tool for integration is something that was brought up during your speech. And I'd like to touch on that a little bit because integration is so important with this therapy.
Yeah.
And I've done yoga recently after a 5-MeO experience, and it's like it takes it to an incredible different level.
Steps the game up.
It does. So have you noticed a lot of rehabilitation for people that are doing yoga initially after the experience?
I feel that yoga is an amazing system because it's a system of self-inquiry. So it's an amazing tool for integration of psychedelic experience, particularly of the 5-MeO DMT experience, because the 5-MeO DMT experience or Bufo experience in its peak can be that of a non-dual experience, so pure unity. And because these are the states of consciousness that were mapped out thousands of years ago in the yogic scriptures, there's a lot of good literature, a lot of good techniques, a lot of good just wisdom and understanding around entering and returning from a non-dual state.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And so that in combination with meditation, being in nature, being still and quiet, peace, all together creates this amazing integration package that everyone that uses this medicine should know about, as I'm sure you guys touch on a lot, and we'll segue into your retreats.
Yes.
In Jamaica. I'm sure you guys give them the full rundown. Don't you start 2 weeks early journaling?
Yeah. We start a few weeks prior with journaling. We use what's called the 5 kleshas, or the 5 root causes of suffering, in the yogic philosophy. So there's avidya, which is ignorance of our own true nature as infinite beings. There's asmita, which is egoism or identifying with our human persona. There is raga, attachments to our belongings, to our way of life, to our spiritual badges. Then there is dvesa and abnivesa, and that is aversion to stepping outside one's comfort zone and fear of the unknown or fear of death. So we begin journaling with that and seeing which kleshas are present in one's life, and that helps us start to narrow in on an intention. Yeah.
Death doula. How is this type of therapy and sacrament that creates this massive ego death where many can feel like they're dying?
Yeah.
Did you become a death doula after your Bufo experience?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but that was just a part of the awakening to the path of becoming a death doula. It was really solidified in my experience of I need to walk this path through my grandfather's death and through clearing myself out enough to be a good listener to what I could be useful for, and being gifted with different visions that really helped my human body be okay with this thing that's been presented. So yeah.
Beautiful. So you feel like that has really aided in your ability to work in that field?
Yes. Oh yeah, there's a lot of parallel worlds between the physical death and our ego death, or the things that we are feeling. It could be a relationship death. It could be we die many times in different forms. And what I've noticed is the more prepared we can be at our physical death, the better. And I think 5-MeO has a really beautiful connection to allowing us to rid ourselves, remember ourselves as source. So when it comes time to that, you feel more prepared. You're ready. Yeah, so the more times you can practice dying in this life, the easier I believe it is at the end. To surrender, to recognize the oneness of all of us. And
Absolutely.
all of us, yes. And
it's interesting, that perspective, because I've had many DMT experiences where I'm like, oh, I'm for sure dead.
Yeah.
100%. And then I'll move a finger and be like, no, I guess I'm not. But I'm going to sink into this and see what it's all about. And it is the most liberating, freeing, beautiful feeling. When you come back, you're like, oh, it's dense. It's dense here.
Yeah.
But so I really resonate with that, and the importance of people not being afraid of passing into, going home in a way, is important. It's also important to really truly enjoy your time here and implementing these medicines and sacraments and therapies into your life, and being practical and logistical about them, and integrating them properly in order to gain more fulfillment in one's life. It's really what it's about.
Isn't it
Sums
though?
it up really nicely.
So would you give to any young man or woman that is interested in exploring 5-MeO DMT, potentially synthetic and potentially the toad, working with this medicine, hosting retreats as you'll do, what advice would you give to a young man or young woman searching for this?
Hashtag know your source.
Nice play.
Do research first on what you're about to get yourself into. Research to no end, really. There can be instances where some young man or woman hears along the entheogenic grapevine that there is this new substance that is big, and their friend might just say, "Hey, you've got to try it." If someone doesn't have an understanding of non-duality or the relationship between the mind and ego and awareness, they can have some difficulties. So do your research as to exactly what you're getting yourself into.
Right.
Secondly, research your facilitator. Ask the right questions. If you're not aware of what to look for in a facilitator or what questions to ask, check the best practices or on the Aware by the Conclave or the Aware Project's website. I believe it's awareproject.com. They have and they've got best practices and what to look for in a facilitator. And make sure that they have your safety at heart. Make sure that they will be available for integration afterwards. Make sure if they're going to crack you open, that they will be there to help pick up the pieces. Make sure that you are ready for a remembrance of grand proportions. Because if you are not looking to shake things up a little bit, then this may not be the right substance for you. But that being said, I believe this medicine is every human being's birthright. This medicine is...
It's endogenous.
Exactly.
So
Yes.
there.
We are the medicine, and this medicine is a tool to help us remember how to surrender into the present moment. So, my advice would be approach this with reverence. Approach it with understanding. The best we can attempt to understand something that cannot be understood. But understand the basic framework around it. Research who you're going to sit with. And make sure that you have the time and space to integrate that into your daily life post-experience. Yeah.
And so when it comes to 5-MeO DMT, using the synthetic as an alternative to toad, I really love the fact that your perception of it is very similar as long as it's used in the right context and the right ceremony. Do you believe that it's important for us to research and understand different forms of, or different sources of 5-MeO, synthetic 5-MeO DMT, in order to better conserve the population of Bufo Alvarius toad?
Absolutely. There's a lot of humans out there, and there's a lot of awakening that's going to happen.
They're going to want it like they wanted ayahuasca?
Exactly. There's a great analogy. I believe it was Swami Vivekananda said, "You know you are ready for enlightenment when you seek it like you would seek a lake when your head is on fire." And this is the general meme we're seeing in the collective consciousness right now. This understanding the roots of consciousness, this merging of technology and awareness, this whole AI movement. We're seeing it in movies and media with shows, Westworld, stuff like that, about the big questions, you know? And so a lot of people are really have that on their mind. So I feel that it would be a little unfair to the toad population to try and put that whole burden on them and their delicious secretion. There are, as Julian Palmer showed us yesterday, there are some very viable plant sources out there. Much more research is needed right now, but they're getting there. And synthetic is a beautiful option. I think synthetic is wonderful. My first few full releases were with synthetic, and they were some of the most monumental, moving, big experiences of my life.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. Thank you. Come on. Bless, brother.
Hey.
Thank you.